Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. This is Bill. Excuse me. I'm a diabetic. My blood sugar is low, so I'm going to be munching on a few things while we go through today's presentation. I have another PowerPoint for you. Just some very specific things I want to share with you. Let me share this. Okay, so forgive me as I chomp away at food, but we'll take you through this presentation. The one thing I noticed is a lot of people are going, well, what do I use? ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Manus. Just tell me what to use. So I did some research and I wanted to give you basically the features and benefits of each one of these different AI. Of all of these here, I can tell you I use Claude, Manus, and ChatGPT the most. Although some good things about Gemini, and I'm really just starting to learn about Perplexity because it's got different benefits too. Now, how these particular models respond is governed largely by who owns them, what their particular interests and pursuits are, and where their data comes from. Because your data, to feed your machine, your AI, you need to have data. Gemini is Google's AI. And basically everything in the world can be crawled by Gemini or by Google unless somebody puts up the no bots tag in their home of the domain. You can say robots.txt equals no bots. And if you do that, Google will not index you. Gemini is part of Google, so they have access to literally everything in this world. Manus is part of PowerPoint of Facebook. ChatGPT is its own thing. So is Claude. The one I don't have in here that I probably should have added is Grok. Now, I really like Grok and I use it for certain things. So I'm sorry I don't have it, but I should have added it in. So here are the sweet spots for each AI, what they're particularly good at. Claude is great for writing. Want to write a book, it's the place to go. And really deep work, like my programming. It is by far the most used coding tool there is. And I actually use what's called Claude Code and Claude, what's the other one called? Coworker. To do 90% of what I need to do in my business. Right, so there, for a long time, in my software, like with the AI traffic secrets, AI autoblogger that we came out with this spring, originally I only used ChatGPT as a source of the content. Then it became, because I was using Claude more, I began to realize Claude is a better writer and they're a whole lot cheaper. So I adapted the software to work with either or. And any of the software I have available right now will be either or. I do a lot of what's called bring your own code, BYOK. So if you want to buy into a certain software program, you add your own API code into it, which will save you money. Otherwise, you're paying me for access to the API, and I mark everything up. And ChatGPT is the generic. It's it's the first place almost every one of us became aware of AI. And I thought it was AI, but it's not. It's the front end of OpenAI. It's like Claude is the front end of semantic, or my brain. Claude has a parent company too. Perplexity. Perplexity is kind of the thing you use when you're doing research. For the college papers, you need to cite your sources. It's very good at doing that sort of thing. Manus, let's say I need a new website design created. Go to McRaeSoft.com. That was created by Manus. Go to AI Traffic Tools. That was created by Claude. But Manus, I literally said, redo my sales letter or my homepage. Here's a link to what's existing. Make it available for me to install into the website, or as a downloadable HTML I can redirect to. And it went to work. Now you can create your style guides. I saw a video yesterday where somebody created this style guide, and they have their branding guide. And they used, I think it was Gemini to come up with the style guide. And then they just take the style guide and they upload it to Claude or ChatGPT or the other ones to get what they want. So, Manus is the one that I really like for doing that. Remodel my website, sort of stuff. The thing about Gemini is it's part of Google. So if you wanted to generate documents, store them in Google Docs or Google Spaces or Pages or Docs, Sheets, whatever Google utility you want to do. It's intuitively integrated into it. There are a lot of people that don't own Microsoft Word. I gotta admit, I'm not a big fan of Microsoft, but I've been using Microsoft Word since I helped beta test the software back in the 80s when I was living in San Jose, California. I was the biggest PC guy in the world. I never saw myself turning into a macro guy or Mac guy. I won't touch a PC now. To me, they're just waiting to break down. But Gemini, a lot of people are like, I don't need it. I just use Workspace, Google's Drive to store things, Sheets for spreadsheets, and Docs for documentation, and some other utilities. And it integrates really great with Gemini, so you can say, write a long report and save it to my doc. And it will do it. Where with Claude, I'll say, create a schedule of what needs to be done and prep it in Word so I can download it and look at it. I'm a little old-fashioned. I still print stuff out because I don't want to necessarily have my face on the screen all the time. I'm starting to feel better. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. You don't eat before him. I had 15 minutes to get home and cook something and start this presentation. So anyhow, these are the 5 I chose. Grok is great with images and video. And Grok is really good with stuff related to social media because it's part of X. Let's go through each individual one. Claude is good at long form writing. Code, it's really the only code program you need. If you know how to code, then you can use code. If you don't know how to program, you don't know how to debug, you don't know how to edit files, you don't know how to work in things like cPanel and WHM and terminal and all these different things. You can't really code too deep. But if you have skills going back 40 years like I do, you can develop some really strong applications. Claude's good for nuance analysis. This is where I'll literally talk to Claude, bouncing back and forth ideas. It's the whole idea about the AI influencer. It's nothing new. But with Claude, I was able to figure out how to put it together. It will be available next week. It's a great program. I'm also able to feed Claude because I'm good at creating the prompts. Really complex prompts. I use my own prompt system, so I don't, create conflicting instructions. This is what happens if you piecemeal it. If you hop on Claude and go, hey, I want to some software that will do this, this, and this. Oh, and then we need this, and then it needs to be this. If you keep going back and forth, making changes, it's just going to obfuscate the code, and it's not going to work too well for people. So it's best to put all your thought up front, and create a mind map, condense it down, feed it into a prompt generator like I have, promote the prompt, and then send that to Claude. And 90% of the time, it will return a fully working plugin or PHP. All your stuff's WordPress. Now you're not as familiar with the background, the utilities I have. I built for myself. No WordPress, all PHP though. Okay, it's not good as you can't go to it like you can ChatGPT and say, create an image of my wife surfing. The other thing that's frustrating, very frustrating, you'll go analyze this website and tell me what it means. Not good at all. That's where Gemini is good. What is nice about Claude is it does have good connectivity into Microsoft. I guess it works with Google too. I haven't tried. If you're not using the Pro version, it will frequently shut you down until you have to wait. which is why I hated it. But now I'm at the max level. I'm happy about that. ChatGPT, it does a good job at brainstorming, creating simple marketing stuff, social posts, stuff like that. All of the applications I have for that totally rely on ChatGPT or OpenAI. Image, it's got a great image platform. DALL-E is probably not as great as Nana Banana or Grok, but it's pretty damn good. The not so good side is it tends to over-explain stuff and adds a lot of unnecessary content. When you want it short and concise, you got to be very specific about it. And it's hard facts and stuff. As much as you think it's an AI, should know everything. Oh, no. Also, there's, again, I got the paid plan of ChatGPT, and there's a big difference. I like the voice aspect of it. I like being able to create custom GPTs. So when I'm writing for my church, I pull up a Christian rewrite prompt that I created and saved, and it will rewrite it based on the language and Bible and scripture that I want to use. Good. Perplexity is the one I have not used much at all. But what I've studied about is, say you want to do some research. If you're an attorney or a college student, and you say, okay, I need to know everything there is about this topic. It goes out and it finds content and it provides the source citations. And that's extremely important. If you're going to write any sort of legal opinion or scientific documentation, you're making certain assumptions based on existing data, and you should cite that. When that's done, when that's said, it's not very good at creative writing. It's more technical. It's more, I'm almost PHP based. Don't use it for coding software. Don't use it for deep research. I know that's kind of contradictory, but it's really great for research. Just don't use it for deep research. And I'm not entirely sure, but I think they had token issues and had to kind of make that more of a paid part of it. Again, since I don't use it, I really don't know that well. No more. If you're ever diabetic and your blood sugar goes low, you're like, scary stuff. Manas. What I like Manas for is I can come to it with a pretty good prompt, say, rebuild this website, and we'll go through all the process. Multiple steps. It does it for you. It's what we call a agentic, and it will build websites, systems, host it for you. The thing about it is it's expensive. So credit-based pricing burns up fast. I will create something and it will go through thousands of credits. Now, my plan is $700 a month, and it is like an employee. You know what I mean? It's not a piece of software because I can tell it to go do stuff, and it does. I used to have to go hire someone to build a membership site for new software, $1,200. Or I used to buy someone to design the sales letter, $400. Now I just use Manus for it. So even though it's expensive, it takes on an important role that the business needs. And as a result of that, it's worth the expense if you're using those things. Gemini, again, this is native. This is Google. Okay. So it's native with Gmail, Docs, Drive, Sheets. I mean, one of the things I do a lot of with Claude Cowork, it connects to Gmail, is I have it automatically check my email every day for certain things. So when I turn on Claude, hit Cowork, I can go and look at today's email related to pay-per-click advertising products and stuff, or programs I'm running, and it's already sorted it out. So where my Gmail account is just overwhelmed with junk, I only want specific things. I believe Gemini can do that too. It's good at OCR, but so is ChatGPT. I had a friend, he had a computer, but he didn't like typing, and he had written up a important documentation that he needed to get converted into PDF. And he was just going to scan it and send it out, as a handwritten PDF. And I'm like, it's going to really make you look shoddy. I was able to take those documents, scan them, upload them into ChatGPT, his handwriting, which is better than mine, and have it convert it into finished Word documents. And they were perfect. I was shocked. It didn't cost me any money to do it either. So it's like a handwritten note, upload it to ChatGPT, tell it to transcribe it into a Word document, and boom, there it is. It was great. So we were able to take those documents, compile them in Word, and convert that to a PDF. And he was able to look good in front of people he needed to look good for. I guess Gemini's good at it too. So that's important. The other thing about Gemini is you could literally upload, if you don't know anything about the context windows, that's the amount of information you can load into a chat before the chat fills up and says, you got to start another chat. Big problem with Claude. Gemini, no. I guess Claude's getting a lot better. I think their last update is 2 or 1 million tokens, which is the Bible. So it's able to memorize stuff for a lot longer. One of the things I did not share, which I think I'll do a whole separate training on, is Notebook LM. It's kind of cool. It literally allows you to set up, you feed it all the content you're studying, and it will go through and make training for you on the right site. It will literally create, simple training videos to explain stuff you're doing. Notebook LM would be amazing for college students. So one of the big things I get out of AI, it's not just that I'm relying on it to be smart instead of me. Trust me, I am. I utilize it more as an educational tool. So I'm getting smarter, a lot smarter about topics I'm interested in. Like I'm interested in what called peptides, help alleviate pain, and all sorts of things. And you could use Notebook LM. You accumulate sources on the left, you give instructions in the middle, and it provides training material on the right. It's definitely something that I want to share with you guys. Because I've been working on it a little bit. Maybe there's some people that are experts at it that can help me with it. I'm not, but I really want to use it more. So most people usually typically do like I do. Pick 2 or 3 of them and they use them in parallel. I use Claude for long form writing, code, strategic docs, business analysis, ChatGPT for quick creative work, images, voice, branding, brainstorming, and just a single purpose tool. Research perplexity if you need cited facts. So you can't go to your boss and say, well, this is this. It's going to go, well, where'd you hear that from? No, use perplexity. Manus, you use that when you need something autonomously, a multi-step thing, stuff where you don't have to say, do this, now do this, now do this. You say, the end is a website with links to these things and follows this guideline for branding. And Manus just takes it and runs with it. Comes back a few minutes later, burns up a lot of tokens, and you look at it and go, yeah, that's really good. Never mind. And the people that use Gemini a lot are mostly people who use Google Workspaces. So you have a whole community of people out there that prefer using Workspace, Google Sheets and Docs and stuff. So Gemini primarily what they want to use because it is part of the same family. It's from a company called Alphabet, and which I always thought was an amazing name for a company. So as of right now, there's not a single one that I would say, use this. This is the best. You can see my 3 options here. Claude has the highest floor. It's my favorite. Perplexity is great for detailed research on cited presentation. And Gemini, if you're working within the Google environment. ChatGPT can be used for everything else. But there are others. There is Nano Banana, which is an amazing image generator. And there is Grok, which is tied. The cool thing about Grok is you can ask it at Grok facts, and it will go give you the facts based on the post above you. So if someone gives you like some sort of line of shit, Grok will go out and find the facts and post it. And that's kind of cool. I don't really use it for that because I don't want to get in arguments in social media. Hey there, I'll turn that off. So here it is. The computer's over here, and I'm staring at this I got two screens on my desk. The iMac is over here, and I have a 27-inch, just like a monitor. And you know how they used to, how expensive they were? I think I paid $117 for this Westinghouse monitor. I figured, well, shit, for the last a year or two, it's great. Because I wanted two monitors to work with. Most people do. And I really like that. And then the third, but they're all doing different things. So that's the other thing when I realized, if you're busy, and tabs are great because you can have different tabs doing different things, but multiple screens are even better because you can have each screen running a tab. You just drag and drop them around. Um, and there really isn't any, the most important desktop software I use is Word right now. And PowerPoint and Excel occasionally. Let's say I have a financial question or want to do some research on a business because I'm thinking about investing into it. I'll take like their PDF of their financial reports for a whole year and smack them together, and I'll upload them into ChatGPT and say, what's the liquidity look like? Are there any negative trends? Just come up with a bunch of questions like that. And I'll do it over Claude. And I get, pretty similar type of reports. And it's great to have all these tools for sure. Here we are. It's even better to have a purpose to use them. Now, which one do you want to try? Okay, first of all, what I would do, they all have free modes. You try it before you start spending money. I would register for an account on each one you're curious about. Then I'd go to McRea Soft and I'd generate one prompt. Make it a writing prompt, probably, it just depends on what you're curious in. You can create an image prompt or a writing prompt or research prompt and pop it in the different AIs you're looking at and compare the reasoning. So one of the reasons why I said I was interested in Gemini is again tied into Google. I was trying to figure out the best doses and how to handle putting together peptides for use to help maintain pain or manage pain. And I've used peptides for a number of years. I've had some pretty good results in different areas. And everybody's been telling me I need to use BPC 157 combined with TB 500 to eliminate the sciatic pain I got. So I'm like, sure. So trying to figure out how to mix it and make sure you know how much to put into a needle. I'm a diabetic, so I have needles around. And where and how, frequency of injections, stuff like that. You get a lot of different opinions. If you go to Google and search, you get bro knowledge from the guys on the forums. You get a lot of, this is not medically approved. I want to know how to use it safely. Okay. I know the stuff is real. I just need to know how to use it safely. And I got the best, most detailed about how to take this stupid little vial. Let me show it to you. Reconstitute it with bacteriostatic water and how much to draw into a needle to inject. And it gave me much better report than Claude or ChatGPT. And it was funny because ChatGPT wanted to lecture me about using peptides. I'm like, I know, it's for research purposes only. And why I know I have a good source is recommended me by my doctor. I'm really not supposed to tell you this, but you could either go through back surgery or you could try this peptide stuff that's really good at relieving inflammation and pain. I'll report back to you in about a month to let you know if it works or not. But I had used, when I was doing a lot of weightlifting and training back 15 years ago, I had a lot of muscle strain and pulled a ligament in my shoulder. And somebody recommended BPC 157 for that. And I used it, and it works. But it was a single purpose. After my car accident where my hip broke, and the doctors are like, don't do anything like that because you're on special pain meds. Well, I won't take your stupid pain meds because a friend of mine OD'd on them and passed away. So I just won't do it. So I ultimately just quit taking the medication that the doctors wanted me to use for pain. And I do massage, exercising, stretching, all this stuff, and PRP injections. All these things really, really, really help. Now I would like to just kind of come up with a cocktail to kind of manage inflammation to help with the back strain. Because it's called stenosis, and it's got a compressed disc. And so I'm getting older, right? You do stuff when you're young. Nobody told me when I was 30 years old that skiing down the side of the mountain was going to wear my back out. My wife asked me, well, now that you know better, would you go back then and not do it? I said, hell no, I had so much fun. There's a price to pay for your fun. Nope. If you play, you got to pay. And your body does. The other thing that you think about, if you're really looking to educate yourself, go play with Notebook LM. Again, it's part of the Gemini family. I haven't done much with it, but I think that's going to be next week's AI Live, simply because it's something that you need to kind of see it to understand. I won't do a PowerPoint, it'll be all point and click, because the PowerPoints are good at getting big concepts across, but I already gave you the concepts, now you need the detail work. Okay, a little shorter this week than normal. I'm struggling with my voice, which seems to be permanent. I got my grandbabies coming over tonight. So I got to smile about that. You all have a great week. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.